In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to configure and set up UltraDistributor. So I'm going to begin by logging in as an administrator. This would be a system administrator that's going to set up a new account for someone that's able to send and receive HL7 through UltraDistributor, which of course alleviates the need for having to use VPNs. So once logged in, I'm going to set up a new site. So I'm going to click on Add New Site, and my location is just going to be my main site, and I'm going to give my site a name. So perhaps this is a hospital or a doctor's office or maybe a clinic somewhere, so I'll call this Test Clinic. Next, I have to have at least one group within that clinic, so this will be Test Clinic Group. And then that group is going to have at least one user. So I'm going to create a user called jgalt. This is going to be a regular user, not an administrator. And the login will be jgalt. And the password, I'm just going to make password. And this is going to be an HL7 user, although they'll also be able to do DICOM. I'm going to click Finish. You can see here it says that it's been inserted. I can now close the dialog. And there is my test clinic right here. And I can click on Edit. I can look at those settings. And if I go to Server Administration, User Mapping Process, so in here I should be able to find my John Galt user. There it is. And I can set their process. Now, I would also need to add a user for receiving data from them. So this is the user account that they'll use to log in for the client interface to pull data from the server, which, so that would be any HL7 or DICOM that they're receiving from the server, but they can also send data. So to set up a user that can receive data from the field, I'm going to go in and create a new user account. So I'm going to hit Add New User. This is going to be in my test clinic group. This is going to be a standard user. But the user this time is going to be jgalt RX for receive. So this is my receiving user. So this is the user that's going to receive, that we're going to use to send stuff to the HIE or to the main server. The login is going to be jgalt RX. Again, I'll just make it password. And I'm going to save that. Okay, user is inserted. I'm going to close it. So now I've got my two user accounts. This is the one I'm going to use to log into the user interface, and this is the account that's going to receive DICOM and HL7 that's coming back from that remote site. So now that I've set this up, now I'm going to log in as a standard user. So now I'm the user, so I'm going to type jgalt to log in, put my password in. Now this is the first time I'm connecting, so when I click login, I'm going to get this dialog that pops up that says you have to install the distributor client. So it's going to install the client-side application. So you'll get this that pops up for a moment while it's downloading and installing the client. Okay, just about done. All right, that process is finished. So once that's done, then the user will be presented with the login prompt. So I'll minimize the Internet Explorer. Now we have a login prompt to log in for the first time. So I'm going to log in as jgalt. And of course my password is password. And it's going to open up the client-side application. Before they can use it the first time, they'll have to put some information in here. So we'll say Test Clinic is the name of my site. It's already pre-populated this information. This is already pre-populated. They won't have to change this. That's just the URL to the distributor server. And down here at the bottom, we can configure receiving HL7 and receiving DICOM. So for example, I can use port 4100 for receiving DICOM and have it send automatically to the jgalt RX user. So it'll automatically receive on port 4100 on this local client, and as soon as it receives, it will send it to this jgalt RX user account, which would be on the server side, and that's what would handle how to deliver that DICOM traffic on the server side. And that's pretty much it. It will listen on any AE title, so you don't have to put the specific AE title in. It is promiscuous. So I click Finish, and that will open up the distributor client. So any files that the user is receiving, so if somebody goes to send, so if somebody takes a report or a DICOM study that they want this person to receive, they can transmit it to this client, and this client can be configured to auto route that if needed. So they can go in here to configuration, and you can set up auto routing rules. So you can set up, they could set up their own DICOM nodes. So they can set up DICOM nodes, they can set up HL7 nodes where they want reports sent, and then they configure automatic sending of that data. So they can go in and configure having things automatically sent DICOM and HL7. And if they don't want to send it automatically, when something's received in the client, they can highlight it and they can click the forward button, forward to their EMR, forward to a specific PAX, or they could forward it to another user. So you can highlight something and forward it to some other UltraDistributor user in the HIE environment. If you have any questions, let us know. And that's basically how you set up the, oh, and one more step I should probably show you. If you click on File and go to System, you can set this up to run as a service. So if you click on Service Install, it will install a service so that if the distributor client is not running, it will still run in the background. So the user can close this all together and still be able to receive and send those DICOM and HL7 files through the HIE. Thank you.